All right, so this, of course, is the big story that we are tracking on WION at this hour, where Pakistan's dire economic situation is showing no signs of getting better anytime soon. The data that's in fact come in on the inflation rate in Pakistan is a cause of serious concern. Inflation at this point of time is said to be about 32% for the combined income group on a year-on-year basis ending the 19th of January. The increase in the inflation rate was reported due to a massive surge in the prices of both food and non-food items. And also in other updates, the Petroleum Division of Pakistan has reportedly warned the central bank that the stocks of petroleum products may actually dry up pretty quickly, as banks are refusing to open and confirm letters of credit for imports. Like other sectors, the oil industry in Pakistan is also facing some major hurdles to opening letters of credit owing to the shortage of American dollars and also restrictions that have been put in place by the State Bank of Pakistan. Meanwhile, the shipping agents in Pakistan have reportedly forewarned the government that all cargo could come to a halt as foreign shipping lines are considering to stop their services for the country after the banks have stopped remitting freight charges due to a lack of dollar, that is the foreign exchange that has dried up in Pakistan. Now, Pakistan's economy is crumbling. There is a political crisis that has simmered on since April last year. The Pakistani rupee has plummeted. Inflation is at a record high. There have been devastating floods which have left a huge trail of devastation across Pakistan. And at this point of time, it appears as if things could not get any more worse. But how will Pakistan tide over this is, of course, the big question. Has the Shehbaz Sharif government got the answers for the challenges that confront the Pakistani government? And to give us more perspective in terms of the many problems that Pakistan is presently faced with, we are joined by Mr. Syed Javed Hassan, who is a former chairman of the Economic Advisory Group and is also an economic columnist. Now, Mr. Hassan, thank you very much indeed for taking time out and speaking to us here in WION. Now, the data that is coming in terms of Pakistan's economy is extremely concerning. It is being said that because of the foreign exchange drying up in Pakistan, Pakistan potentially could, in fact, look at days where petroleum may not be available at its petrol pumps. Is this a scenario that the government is preparing for?
I would imagine they are, but as you put it, the situation is quite dire. Foreign exchange reserves, the last count was about 4.6 billion. Of that, actually, what can be used is about probably about $600 million, because the 4 billion is actually deposit from other countries. UAE about 2 billion, and China another 2 billion. So there is a shortage of foreign exchange available in the reserves. And that is obviously causing a lot of difficulty in terms of opening letters of credit. So you said, could things get worse? I'm afraid so. They could actually get worse. What we need to have right now immediately is to have the IMF program revived, which we have been in a IMF program for the last 2.5 years, and that needs to be revived if there's going to be an avoidance of defaults.
You know, that's a pretty dark picture that you are also giving us as a part of your assessment. Now, the letters of credit by banks is a very crucial aspect of the Pakistani economy. Now, considering that Pakistan's foreign exchange reserves have almost completely dried up with respect to what they can use, do you think Pakistan, if they do not get that bailout by the IMF, could actually go the Sri Lanka way, the same way that Sri Lanka witnessed these large-scale shortages of food and fuel and other essential supplies because it simply ran out of US dollars?
If the IMF program is not revived in the next few weeks, that's very much a possibility, I'm afraid. We certainly hope that the IMF program is revived. And once that comes in, there's an injection of about $1.1 billion of cash liquidity immediately. There's also a possibility that other friendly countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE, China would come in also with further support. So it's critically important that the Pakistan government meets the IMF conditionalities, which it has been dithering about for the last sort of 2.5 months, and make sure that the program is revived. Otherwise, it's almost certain that we'll go the Sri Lanka way.
All right, now, Shehbaz Sharif has been going round, especially to countries that Pakistan considers it's friendly to it. He was in the United Arab Emirates a little while back. Do you think there's a possibility that these countries, such as the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, could potentially bail Pakistan out?
You just heard the finance minister of Saudi Arabia in Davos, the World Economic Forum, stated that now they do not give deposits or investments without strings attached. They want a certain investment environment, they want reforms, and he also stated that it should be aligned with multilateral agencies. He named World Bank, but IMF is part of the World Bank group. So they would ideally want, I imagine, Pakistan to be back in the IMF program before they bail out. So any of these countries will not bail out Pakistan unless Pakistan is back in the IMF program. It's
very interesting. Now, my final question to you, and this is something that I'm sure that a lot of people in Pakistan are also looking at. You know, Vladimir Putin has just said that he sees Pakistan as a crucial partner in South Asia, and Russia would want to sell oil and gas to Pakistan and is willing to accept a currency of a friendly nation. It probably refers to the Chinese currency. Do you think Pakistan would be willing to purchase oil and gas from Russia?
I very much so. Very much Pakistan would want to purchase Russian oil. But really, I think there's a deficit of even friendly currency right now. So we don't have that many Chinese renminbi or UAE dirhams. So I think while that is very useful to know, I don't know how effective it will be in terms of actually doing the transactions. So these are always convertible currencies with US dollar. So whether we have dollars or we have renminbi or we have dirham, it's all the same.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Hassan, for joining us and getting us all those insights there. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.